Hey there, my friend. Perry Tinsley here. I'm going to talk about life beginning at 40, kind of the fitness edition. Now, I am not 40 years old, but I'm dialing back the clock here a little bit because tomorrow, as of this recording, tomorrow will be my 20th year anniversary when I decided to make a committed decision to actually get in shape and stick with it and keep it going. And I think this thing of turning 40 can be really intimidating to people when it comes to fitness. Maybe we've drifted off course so much, and a lot of times people look at it as a daunting task. I know I did, especially for people who are crazy busy, you're overworked, you're overwhelmed, and you're out of shape. And a lot of times people have the mindset of it's just too late for me to get in shape. And that's why I always end this podcast with, remember, it's never too late, because I needed to embrace that. And there's some things I'm going to share with you today in this episode to discuss strategies, at least ones that I took. I think they've worked for many people that I've helped coach over the years to overcome these little barriers, or these things that we make up as barriers. They're just mere obstacles and detours that we can take along the way. But when you have some of these strategies in place, or the mindsets in place, it can make things go a lot smoother for you. So I do want to welcome you to this, and I do want to thank you for joining me on another Power Blast podcast, where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out, providing rapid results in mindset and fitness so that you can recharge that mental and physical battery of yours and reclaim your power. And I always tell people, when you're ready, because a lot of times it just having a conversation can make all the difference. You can listen to podcasts or even watch podcasts and just take in the information. But sometimes when you want to dial in something specific for you in your unique situation, that's where I tell people, hop on a call with me, free call. Talktoperry.com is where my calendar is at. I leave it wide open for podcast listeners because it's all about just a mindset strategy. It's all about keeping that energy high so that you can reach all of your goals. And I want to help you recharge that mental and physical battery of yours and reclaim your power. And so we do that in 15 minutes. Talktoperry.com. One of the big things, I needed to, when I was about ready to start, and I didn't start right when I was about to turn 40. It was actually just before I was turning 39 that I made the committed decision. But to be honest, was I going to be committed this time? I don't know. But there it was, middle of April 2003. And I pretty much had said, nothing else works. I may as well, let me see if I can commit to a 90-day run. And I don't think I've ever committed to that before. I would be like, let me just see how far this thing goes. But I really didn't have any clearly defined goals. And I'll talk about that in a second. But there I was at a place in life where I had promised myself I would never be. And I don't know why I made that promise. I made the promises because I saw the blueprint of family members, of other, friends I hung out with, what direction they were going. And they were showing me the roadmap of where I didn't want to be. Yet, I don't know, maybe it was just the power of suggestion or whatever it was. There I was in that spot. And I'm like, man. So I'm Googling. Was I Googling at the time? Probably not Googling in 2003, maybe. Something else, different search engine. But I'm looking for ways to, basically, where's the edit undo button? Where can I just undo my healthy habits and just, and all the weight I've gained and get all the muscle back? Where can I do that? Is there a procedure I can have? Is there some pills off the shelf I can get? What is it? And it was at that moment I really caught myself, and I'm like, whoa, that's a big mindset shift there. Because a successful fitness journey, a successful health journey, you've got to focus on the challenges that come with the different chapters of life. And a lot of times, because things are so unknown, as you're going to that, but then again, I saw the blueprint. I wanted to approach this in a much different way. Now, I just twisted my ankle. I just, knew that actually Easter was going to be coming up at the end of my first start week. So I almost put it off. I almost said, well, I'll wait till the ankle recovers. I'll wait till the holidays are done. And then I caught myself again. There's the mindset stuff. There is the procrastination habit that I had gotten into. What if you didn't do that anymore? And so I started to adopt a positive attitude. I'm like, I'm going to pay attention to this journey too. And I was humbled. I mean, there were so many times I just wanted to bail and give up and just went, wow, I had drifted so far off course. Why even try? But I had to believe. Instead of relying on faith, I wanted to rely, or instead of relying on fear, I wanted to rely on faith and make sure I get those in the right order. Both require you to believe in something you can't see. And I just wanted to trust and believe that if I showed up every day, eventually by the end of the 90 days, something would happen. Maybe it wouldn't be a big shift on the scale. I don't know. But I'm bound to be stronger. I'm bound to be just mentally tougher. I'm bound to be more empowered. I'm bound to be at least a little more confident. But I couldn't just do the what if thing. I had to say, you know what? I'm going to test this out. I am going for it. And along the way, I'm paying attention to where I might need to adjust and really catch myself when I'm doing the excuses and stuff. So first thing was I just needed to take responsibility. And I couldn't believe all the excuses that would pop up. It really makes you aware when you become aware. It's really interesting when you're like, oh, it was a long day at work. That was a long commute. Maybe you just take a day off. Do doubles tomorrow. That conversation came up a lot. And I'm like, okay, I need something here that can help me overcome that and just show up. So I made a contract with myself. And I'm a person of my word, so I'm going to honor that word. And when you do that with yourself, a lot of times your little secret self can try to talk you out of it. But it's like, no, I'm showing up no matter what. If I feel out of it, unmotivated, not ready, maybe I'm too sore, I'm at least showing up for 15 minutes of my workout. Now, my workouts were only 25 minutes at the time, so it wasn't a big deal. But 15 minutes for sure. Almost every time I completed the exercises, the workouts. But that was an empowerment strategy. The other one was I usually would sit down and unwind after work. And I said, now instead of unwinding, and it usually never gave me more motivation. It usually ended up being less and more relaxed and going into lazy habits. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to use that. Get rid of the sitting around, and I'm going to get dressed, get in shape after, or get my workout clothes on, let the dogs out, and then get my exercise going. And so that was another thing. So I was taking responsibility. I was looking at the times when I was doing the excuses, calling myself out on it, coming up with a simple strategy to quick pivot and redirect, even if I didn't feel like it. And so that was the responsibility thing. Then it was just having some well-defined goals. I think that's really, really important. A lot of times people say set realistic goals. You know what? Realistic was just, I had been trying to do the realistic stuff, and I'm like, no, I need to do some big things. I need to make a major shift. If I'm going to set realistic goals, I'm probably not going to challenge myself, and that was another little defining moment. But with my big goals, I broke them down into small, achievable ones that I could, add up the wins. But the goal never changed. The goal never changed. It's like, you know what? In the beginning, for me, it was to form the habits first. Okay? I didn't have a number on the scale that I wanted or anything like that. It was like, I want the healthy habits again, because if I have the healthy habits daily, there's going to be a shift. There's going to be a result of some sort. If I keep the unhealthy habits going, I already can see where that result is going, and I don't like it. So, prioritizing time, making the schedule, making the time to show up. A lot of times people try to wing it. When am I going to fit it in? And then they'll use the excuse of, well, I got to drive to the gym. Well, it's raining out. I can't go out running, all stuff. No, it was always, I had a no matter what plan. There was always a no matter what plan. I was showing up. So I counteracted that really quick, and I made sure I showed up. Then it was kind of finding your fitness passion. Now, I was just going through basic pushing and pulling type of exercises. There was some cardio one day. There was some sculpt weight training. It wasn't even weight training. It was resistance training because I didn't even have a set of dumbbells. I had a resistance band. But I was showing up and doing that. I mean, for you, it might be like swimming, cycling, yoga, whatever it is. But it's just finding that thing that you can show up and do. And you just know you'll be able to evolve over time. You don't have to lock into that for life. But, and that's the wonderful thing that I love is the variety. Another one that I think having a support system is really, really important. My wife was my support system. And then eventually I got into some online communities where people were just on the same journey as me, gotten into the same rut as me, and we all wanted out. And so that was it. Accountability was huge because if somebody else is checking in, I'm going to check in. I already checked in for myself, and my accountability was empowering. Simple nutrition. It's really easy to overcomplicate this stuff, and I think that's where a lot of people start. Is I'm going to starve. And I have to give up all this stuff. Well, you do want to get rid of the stuff that's working against you. Okay, I mean that's just smart science to do. Just give up the stuff that's not working in your favor, right? Start fueling yourself with the stuff that does work in your favor. Veggies, lean proteins, healthy fats. You get the picture, right? Incorporating, getting lots and lots of water, way more water than you think. A lot of times people forget the water, right? You can get a nutritionist or somebody to do a customized meal plan for you and stuff like that. But I think that's really, really key. And that's where I discovered vegetables. I know I was supposed to eat vegetables, but I hated them as a kid. And I adopted that mindset that I hate vegetables. So another one is to really, when you come up with those excuses, or we'll call them limiting beliefs, challenge them. So I did that. I was like, is that true? Do I really hate vegetables? Let me test this out for 30 days. And I anticipated gagging vegetables down for 30 days. Sent chills down my spine. And I found out they weren't as repulsive as I remembered as a kid. And I dropped like 5 pounds and I had energy off the charts within a week. It's like, okay. So challenge those beliefs. Prioritize sleep. Prioritize stress reduction techniques. Whether that's could be just meditating, deep breathing, stuff like that. These things, I mean, with the exercise, the nutrient-dense foods, the sleep, the water, all of that. Sleep, if I didn't say that, even a coach with the support, that's going to help you boost your energy. And that's why I tell people, hop on my calendar. Because it could be where you're wanting to talk something unique about your situation. I can give you some of these general rules. But if you want something a little more detailed, free call, talktoperry.com, because I want to hear what things you're struggling through, what things have become an energy drain for you, what your goals are. And I'll tell you within 15 minutes of us talking together which direction is going to be the best for you and where you're going to get the biggest result from so that you can recharge the mental and physical battery, start reaching your goals and reclaiming your power. I mean, I often ask people, how would your life look different if your mental and physical battery is running at 100% every single day instead of at 2% like a 6-year-old phone with no battery charger around, right? So, and I'll give you 3 strategies to boost your energy, reclaim your time, and make you the priority. And that's perfect, especially if you're a very busy person. So that's at talktoperry.com. Another one is to track your progress. Now, I didn't get super detailed. Eventually, I did. The more you track, it can really make a big difference. But I was kind of resistant to tracking. So all I did, I had a calendar, and I put an X on the day. Got my workout done, did my nutrition next day. Workout, nutrition, and I ran the table 90 straight days. And I was very proud. I didn't stop after the 90 days, though. Along the way, when I told you, pay attention to the journey, I learned things, and I'm like, this is a lifelong thing. This is a lifelong commitment, because if I stop, old sneaky habits come back in. And I'm just going to be back to where I started. You've seen that happen with a lot of people before. You probably maybe experienced that by yourself, Another one is to be patient and kind with yourself. Obstacles are going to happen. There's going to be days when your workout's lackluster or you can't show up. But you know what? It takes time. It takes patience. Stop obsessing over the scale to see if it dropped 5 pounds. If you step on the scale daily, use it as just data. It's like, oh, it could have been, maybe I had too much extra salt yesterday in my foods or whatever it was. There's going to be obstacles. Those are there to challenge and teach you along the way. That's why I say pay attention. Just say, there it is. Okay, I won't go that direction again. Or here's how I'm going to navigate around it, because the goal never changes. So embarking on this journey after, if you're 40, you might even be listening to this and you're under 40, but it's having the right mindset. It's definitely having the right attitude and it's just embracing the process, trusting the process, having faith over fear, and just going forward to live happy, healthy, fulfilled for life. I mean, I know we don't know what the future is going to be as I stumble across my words there, but hey, it's exciting. And why not empower yourself to make the most of it, right? So just know you can choose to use your power and take control, or you can choose to let excuses and rationalizations and defending those excuses, comparison, control you and drain your power. It's really deciding and committing to yourself and your goals and choosing to figure out new ways, looking at possibilities, learning and growing, and keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. You can drop those down in the comments. I do promise to reply to those. You absolutely rock, my friend. And here it comes. As always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.